You're listening to the Balancing Act podcast. Here's your hosts, Jamie Wonko and Joe Vitale.
Hey, so guess what? We are officially recording.
Hello, and welcome back to the Balancing Act podcast. I am Jamie Wonko here with Mr. Joseph, Joe, never
Yes.
Joey Vitale.
Yes, correct. Joey, my mom calls me Joey. And one ex-girlfriend. She was very nice. She also
I don't
called me
like
Joey.
her.
Jeez.
I don't like her.
We're
And
going
I
off the
won't
rails.
Waver. There
Yeah.
you go.
So, hey, guess what? Our season 3 is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Teachers Insurance Plan. Make sure you check out their website below for more information and to get a quote. Teachers Insurance Plan, auto insurance that brings exclusive educator savings and exceptional customer care to New Jersey and Pennsylvania educational employees. It looks like someone picked up our shirts. Yes, we have shirts.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, they
me.
gave us swag with
Look at
logos
the
on it.
sky blue this beautiful. We are gonna pop in this blue.
Yes, we
like
are.
Nobody's business.
I mean, that, pop it like it's hot. That's how it is. That's the drip, as the kids call it.
and
yes.
for a more formal look,
Oh,
our gray.
we have the quarter zips. How nice.
I mean, the quarter zip? Who are we? What?
They call that, the finance bros call that a Q zip. That's good stuff. Okay. So now that we've been talking about our merch that we have for so long, hey, guess what? We have a guest that's waiting for us.
We do. I mean, and I'm going to say in the teacher community, there is nobody that can understand the excitement of a quarter zip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We teachers, we love free stuff.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's free. So that's best. Thank you to our sponsors for the free stuff.
Thank you
We
to
love
our
it.
sponsor. We love it.
Yeah. So, hey, let's bring our guest in who's been
Come on in.
patiently waiting for us. Hey, Courtney, how are you? Courtney White, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me.
We are so excited to have you with us for a variety of reasons. Number one, make sure you give Courtney a follow on TikTok and Instagram at Teaching with Mrs. White, MRS White, on TikTok and Instagram. She gave us information about why the algorithms are so wonky. She's going to make, definitely getting us some info. But thank you very much for joining us today. It's awesome to have you.
I'm excited. This is my first time on a podcast.
Is it really?
Yes.
No way. That's so fun. Okay. I didn't know that. Well, now
It is.
oh man, now we have like expectations to live up to and stuff. And great. I know. Sorry we had you out there as Jamie was modeling all of our merch from Teachers Insurance Plan. But
I liked it.
We got a sponsor. We got a sponsor. We're doing things.
I'm never going to wear anything other than those 2 shirts ever again.
Perfect.
We'll get one for your husband and cut the sleeves off because he doesn't have sleeves ever. Courtney, he's a giant man. He's a giant man. So anyway, we are really excited to have you. One of the first times I saw you, I don't want to say it was your first viral video because I'm not really sure, but you did something really cute with your elementary school kids that wound up going viral, and we'd love to hear about it and have you tell our listeners about that experience and about that whole thing.
Yeah. So my mom is really crafty and she's like constantly sewing, knitting. Anything you could make a craft out of, she has figured out how to master it. And I don't know how she has the time, but she saw an idea or came up with an idea of the students coloring like a little winter, like a beanie. And so I gave them papers and I was like, well, Miss White's going to make a bulletin board. Here is a paper. I want y'all to color it and give it back to me. And so they colored it. They didn't think anything of it. I just told them it was going to go up for the winter. And so they didn't question why I was doing it in October. And so I gave all the papers to my mom. My mom took them home and knitted all of their designs. So they all got their own personalized hat that they designed themselves for Christmas. And so in the video, I am showing off some of the hats. And then I made an additional video of me telling the kids that they were getting the hats, and they lost their minds. They were so excited to get their hats, especially since they designed them themselves. So it was a cute moment for everyone. Yeah,
that is adorable. Loved it. And I'm sure it's pinned as one of your stories on Instagram and TikTok, right? I'm sure people want to check that out. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, that's great. And you were even talking about how your mom like does all the crafting and like turns things into crafts, and any kind of craft whatsoever. I just start immediately like flop sweating because I have no crafty energy to deal with it. It's
She's like that person. She's like, I can make that. And she has none of the equipment needed, but she'll go spend $200 to make the one thing that she could have bought for $20. But for her, it's like, I made it. I figured it out.
nice. I love it. My partner here does all sorts of crafty, fun things with her students, and I'm like, no, like
I can't do it, but I can facilitate it. I can
Yes, you
be
can.
like, I can be a great assistant. I will support the craziest, wildest ideas and supply whatever they might need. The amount of hot glue that I go through at any given time in my classroom is insane. But I have very crafty kids, especially one of them, my own children, and she lives in a perpetual state of crafting. Joe's daughter paints.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, it just depends on, but the hats, I mean, is that something that you had ever like thought of before? Is that something like your mom would do for you? Is that, does she do that like on the regular? I know like my twins were in the NICU and there were these hats. We still have them that were crocheted by women because they're so tiny that you need a specialty, hat for a baby that's born at like, 3 pounds or whatever. Is that something that she does often?
Well, she started a knitting club with the school that she worked at. She's also a teacher.
Oh.
And so she started a knitting club with them, and they actually did make hats to donate to NICUs. And then she was teaching 5th grade at the time, and I was teaching 2nd grade. And she was like, well, I have like 80 something students. You only have 20. So I'm going to do this idea with your class because you have fewer kids. Right. And so she just took the idea and gave me the supplies and was like, here, give these to your students. And I was like, okay. So she's like, she needs more credit for the video and all the things. I'm just the one who posted it. And so I got to have all the likes and shares from it. But
are you and your mom are in different school districts, different schools or?
We were, but now we are working in the same school. She like follows me around everywhere. So I went to college, she went to college. I went and got a master's where she's got a master's. We sat in college classes together.
That is frightening.
I love that. We have very different reactions to that. I walked
in and sat at my table with my friends, and she was like, "Come here, let me join," and sat at my table. Or if I would like doodle on my paper, she's like elbowing me, like, "Take notes, pay attention." I'm like, having mom in class, so fun.
Yeah. So
was your mom not a teacher when you were growing up? She was a returning.
She had just a normal like 9-to-5 job. She had me pretty young, so she just never got to go to college. She actually didn't get her GED until later in life. And so when I started college, I was the first person in my family to graduate high school and graduate from college or go to college. And so she decided, I want to say a semester or 2 behind me to try to go get her degree as well. And we just ended up in sync by the time we both got into the education program and ended up in all of those classes together.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm dumbfounded by that. Wow. That's awesome.
I was super hard time. So I'm like, I graduated a semester before you. So I'm still
nice. Now listen, there's a little bit of a twang to your voice. We're accent people, so we get it. Where are you teaching right now? And what grade do you have?
I am in Texas. I'm in the DFW area, and I am teaching 5th grade math, which is anybody who knows me, like in my personal life, that's a big leap because I was always an English person. I love books. I love reading. And then last year I switched over to teaching math, and a lot of people were very shocked because I was very adamant about how much I don't like math growing up. And so now I'm a math teacher and I actually really like it.
Your choice, or was it like a district switch? Or
I was trying to move into those districts since we are a 4-day district. And the only place they had was a 5th grade math spot. And I was like, I can do it. I'm certified to teach it. So put me in, coach. And my team thankfully was really helpful because I was like, I felt like a 1st-year teacher all over again because I had only ever taught English, but now here I am teaching math.
Wow.
Yeah,
and DFW, as we asked you earlier, is Dallas Fort Worth.
Yes, I knew that already. I also realized from talking to Courtney that Courtney and I are new best friends because we also enjoy a love for all things Diet Coke.
Yes.
I also don't want to make a former guest of ours, Dr. Santarelli, very angry, because our entire feed is just memes and videos about people drinking Diet Coke, which Jamie calls like any kind of soda is a dessert soda. It's weird.
I've never
but,
heard
like,
that before.
Yes, I know. I have never heard it either until I met my buddy here, because soda is a dessert thing. But anyway, all things Diet Coke. That's Courtney and I are we're besties now.
Yes.
I mean, just so you know,
Jamie out, Courtney in. I get it.
yeah, we're changing it out. Also, I want to go to Texas so bad and go on, like, I know what you're gonna say. I want to go on like a barbecue
tour.
Yeah, I want to do the
Thanks.
barbecue tour and
Yeah.
go to like all the big barbecue spots and eat all the foods, because that literally my electric chair meal. If I was going to the electric chair, would be like Texas brisket, mac and cheese, cornbread.
Yes,
and
all the things.
all the
Put on your
things.
stretchy pants.
Yeah.
They're just wet, so maybe a tank top.
Yeah. I'm in completely. I love everything about it. And I've never been to Texas, so I have to, one of these days I have to get down there
You gotta come on down here.
and do that. I got to go to DFW. It'd be like, I was like, is that a shoe place? It's like, no, that's DSW. Okay.
You gotta pack for every season, because you don't know. Yesterday we were in shorts and tank tops. Today it's 57 degrees outside. So
Oh,
like,
nice.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh, you're also if you're watching this on Spotify or YouTube, you're dressed. What are you wearing today, Courtney? I've never asked this on a
I
podcast
am
before.
in pajamas. Here, let me give you all the full effect here. I'm like,
Okay.
fully
Oh, we got-
in pajamas.
Oh, they're so
yes.
cute.
Yes, gotta love the pajamas, because it's also Spirit Week too. Which
Yes,
is,
Red Ribbon Week. We are in our pajamas today.
I love
Good thing
it.
y'all didn't catch me on Friday, because I'm going to be an inflatable Buzz Lightyear. So
I love everything about that.
yes,
So that's the Halloween costume. Is this like a group Halloween costume for you? that you're
yes.
doing?
Our whole 5th grade team is dressing up as Toy Story characters, and I went on Amazon and saw the Buzz Lightyear costume, and I'm all about the costumes and looking ridiculous. And so the second I saw it, I was like, add to
Same.
cart immediately. Don't care about the price. I look absolutely ridiculous in it.
I love everything about that. That's great. I also throw myself into the costumes. It's awesome. And we
Yes.
do all the Spirit Week things too. We were talking before we went on the show about the different Spirit Weeks. And one of our clips actually popped up about Jamie and I being confused last year, because there was like Hispanic American Heritage Month, but also like Spirit Week, and it was like dressed like a cowboy, but it was like dressed like a caballero day, and there were flannels and hats. And I just
too many overlapping themes. It was
there were too many
confusing.
overlapping themes. And then
Too
one of the
confusing.
things that Courtney and I were talking about is like, hey, how many times have you had to like sit in on a parent meeting, like in a costume or pajamas, or you forget what you're wearing and you go out like, let me go grab, to the drug, the Walgreens to get my prescription, and
That's
you're
what
standing
I was
there.
thinking about today, because I had on some like Grinch pajamas, and I was like, I have to be on a podcast. So maybe something that could pass as a shirt.
It does. It absolutely
It
passes
does.
as a shirt.
Yes.
It looks amazing. Wouldn't have known unless you stood up and gave us the full effect, which we love.
Yeah.
So one of the main reasons that I reached out to have you on, or Jamie and I talked about having you on, was you mentioned it already. I definitely want to circle back to it. I hate that phrase, but I'm going to use it. You mentioned about moving into a 4-day-a-week district, and one of the things that Jamie and I talk about specifically in the state of New Jersey is how are we going to attract more people to the profession, right? And we talk about pension reform, we talk about health benefits and workday and all workload and all those different things. But some school districts around the country are moving to a 4-day work week. We'd love to talk with you about the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Like because you even said like I wanted to get into this district because they had a 4-day work week. And what your reasoning was behind it, and what advantages you see about working in a 4-day work week.
It's been great. The year that I came, last year was my first year in the district, and it was their first year doing the 4-day week. So that was kind of like their starting point, trying to iron out the kinks, figure out schedule and things like that. And so it was kind of a learning curve for everyone across the board, because now you're trying to condense your curriculum and move things around. And I think a lot of people were getting confused. Like, I don't understand, you're in school for not as many days as the rest of us. How are you catching up with curriculum and everything? But for us in Texas, I don't know if it's like this in other states, but we stopped counting days after COVID and we switched to minutes. And so the students have to have a certain amount of instructional minutes for the school year instead of like the 180 days that we had
Whoa.
before.
Okay.
Wow.
So that was a
News
big
to us.
shift.
That's news.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, news
literally, Courtney, literally the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
after COVID, since we were having to shut down so much that 2020-21 school year to do all the social distancing, and like that's when we had to do like the whoever was in close contact, they all had to quarantine. I remember like I would have full classrooms of students out at a time just because 2 kids in the room got COVID and they weren't spaced enough. So they had to quarantine the whole class. And so they decided after that, we're just going to count minutes and we're going to add like 5 to 10 minutes onto every school day. And so if we did have all these big shutdowns or weather or anything, we didn't have to make 20 days up in the summer because we already had all the instructional minutes put in. And so it's kind of similar to that for the 4-day week. I only go to work for 4 days, but the students are still technically getting the same amount of time for the whole school year. And so that was a big shift.
Wow.
We don't start we started August 7th and we still get out the last week in May, just like all the other schools around us who are in the traditional 5-day week.
Yeah. And we do, our school calendar is completely different. We don't start until after Labor Day. So we start like the first week of September, but we go all the way until like June 120th, I think. It's at least that's what it feels like.
In the 20s, 23, 24, 25, somewhere in there. Yeah.
Well, this year it's
the 23rd.
23rd because it's Drew's birthday, right? Is that
no? Last year it was the 25th, but this year is the 23rd. Yeah,
That's a long time.
It is a long time. And you mentioned about the school day and minutes, and that's a very interesting concept to me because we have to go 180 school days.
Yeah.
And we also build snow days into our calendar. I don't know if Dallas-Fort Worth experiences those type of weather delays or not.
Snow days.
So, last couple of winters have been mild, and the extra snow days, they take them, instead of taking them off at the end of the year because of when graduation is scheduled and events and stuff like that, they will add those days. They'll have they'll give us an extra day on Memorial Day weekend. They'll give us a day in New Jersey. Our primary is on a Tuesday in June. So they'll give us like the Monday off before the primary. So like we literally like go to school for 3 days, then we're off for 4 days, then we go to school for 3 days, then we're off for 4 days, then we go to school for 3 days. And like the kids are done. Like when we get to Memorial Day weekend, they are just like, they're out of school more than they're in school. And then the last 5 days of school for us are half days. So, and at the middle school level, which is Jamie and I teach middle school, there's no final exams. So like we're literally entertaining these kids for the last 5 days. The devices are collected and your stuff's put away. So you're like playing games and keeping them entertained and not really doing any instructional stuff during that time. Right. You might be doing like a little bit here and there, but there's not really much that you're doing at that point. So I really find it interesting, the concept of minutes. Was it just your district that did that, or is it the entire state went to minutes?
So the whole state went to minutes, and then it's kind of going district by district on who is doing the 4-day weeks or not. I know it was heavily polled in the area for the community, and they were asking the parents, are you interested in a 4-day week? And if you are interested in a 4-day week, would you need childcare? Or do you not need childcare? And then once that kind of got pushed through and they had a majority on that, then it was, would you prefer to be off on Monday or would you prefer to be off on Fridays? And that was put to a vote as well.
What day are you?
We're off on Mondays. I think a lot of parents, because it's the whole district, all the way up to high school, they all get the 4-day weeks. And so a lot of the kids that are in sports, they have to be at school on Friday anyways for football, basketball, all the things. And so they were like, well, we'll just take the Monday off. But then also almost all of the little random holidays we have here and there, or the days off, they're on a Monday already. And so we would already had those Mondays off. So it kind of made it easier in that sense too. Otherwise we would have a lot of 4-day weekends randomly throughout the year.
What is this?
Courtney, walk us through your day. So like, for example, we start at 8:05 and we're done at 3:05. What does your day start and end?
We start at 7:35 and we end at 3:35. And so I have the students come down at 7:35. Well, okay. Actually, the doors open for students to come in at 7 for breakfast and all the things. And so a couple of the teachers on my team have morning duty. So they just have a morning work room and the kids are just being collected in there. But then at 7:35, when the bell rings, that's when students are released to their classes. So that's technically when our day starts. We have a little bit of homeroom time. And then since I'm 5th grade, we rotate. And so I rotate through 3 groups of kids throughout the day. And 3:35 is dismissal. So we normally pack up around like 3:20, 3:25, send them all to their dismissal spots, start dismissing at 3:35. So the day's really not much longer than your typical like elementary day. I know some people are like concerned because we start early, but even in 5-day schools that I was in, we've always started the day around 7:30. Middle school started it a little bit later. High school starts a little bit later. And so it's always been kind of staggered.
And if you don't know the exact, what are the middle school and high school times? Like what time do they start? What time do they end approximately?
I want to say that the high school starts somewhere around 8:30ish, and then middle school is somewhere in between that 7:30 and 8:30 time. Because I believe it gives time for the buses to like get around the district and get everybody.
And the
and
school
then
day
for the end of the day, they get out a little bit later than we do.
Oh, so they get out closer to like 4 o'clock, a
Yeah.
little bit after 4. Okay. I mean,
It's the same amount of minutes that we have.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of minutes.
Yeah.
So the other thing is like, why did you personally want to make the switch to work in a 4-day work week district?
The year before I decided to move to this district, I was done with teaching.
Oh,
I wanted to be done. I loved the kids. I loved being involved and doing all the stuff with them. But the micromanaging, all of the expectations, all of the extra work that I was putting in, and I felt like I'm giving myself all day long. And I have 3 little kids at home. And so by the time I got home with them, I was so just overstimulated, exhausted, overwhelmed, and they were getting all the worst parts of me as a mom. And so I was so over it. And the pay and the expectations and all of these things that were thrown on me, I was like, I could go get an office job and half of my stress would be cut in half. And I was applying for jobs all school year long. But fortunately and unfortunately in Texas, I make a good amount of money, and any job that I was going to go to would be a significant pay cut. And my family just couldn't afford that. In the district that I am, I believe first-year teachers start at $63,000 or somewhere around there.
yeah, that's great.
So trying to get an entry-level job somewhere else, no one was going to pay me $65,000. And so I was like, I can't take that pay cut because who knows how long until I'm going to actually make that money. And we actually ended up building a home and moving. And I met a bunch of the neighbors. We all like had little driveway hangouts with all of our kids. And one of the other moms was like, hey, I teach over at this school and we have a math opening. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, why don't you throw my name in the ring for it? I've never taught math, but I'm willing to try. I had an interview 2 days later. The next day they offered me the job. And I was like, perfect. The district that I came from, hated every second of working there.
Oh.
Even being blatantly honest, the parents were very hard to deal with. The administration was even worse. There was no support for behavior, anything as a new teacher. It was just, there was no positives to coming to work each day. And I had felt like that for a couple of years. And I even tried moving to other districts to see maybe it's a district thing, because sometimes we know admin or whatever can be the problem. And I was so over it. I was like, maybe I'll go back to school. I'll go back and do nursing. I'll go get a cosmetology license. I'll do something else that doesn't involve being in a classroom. And then when I came here, it was like a night and day difference. Wow. I haven't looked for other jobs. I haven't tried to find other jobs. I just having that extra day at home and knowing that I have time with my kids, I can handle other things. I have a break from it all. It just made a drastic difference in how I feel about education.
I appreciate your candor and your honesty, to be very honest. I mean, that's first of all refreshing to hear, but also some of the people we've had on have suggested to do some of the things that you do, like move districts, go to a different school, find your people somewhere else. Like, look, and we could both tell you, we have worked for great bosses and we have worked for some not so great bosses, which can absolutely kill the morale of a building. Where it then becomes everyone unifying together like it's an us against them thing, instead of everybody moving in the same direction for what's best for your students as well as what's best for yourself in the classroom. Like I'm so refreshed now in my career where like I know that it does not matter the activity that I am doing, or like if I have an issue with a student, I'm going to be supported 110% of the time.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference.
It makes a huge difference.
A giant difference because it was night and day. Even like just the 4-day weeks, that was amazing. But just the difference in admin, I wasn't afraid to go tell them, hey, the daycare called, my baby is sick, I need to go get them. Because in my last district, well, can someone else go get them? Like, no, their mom's going to go get them. And then I came here and it was like, go take care of your family. And it's like top to bottom that way. Like the superintendent is really involved. He wants you to take care of your family. And my principal wants me to take care of my family. And they never make me feel bad about it, even with the 4-day weeks. Because I know last year it was a lot of stress of like, we have to keep going. We have to keep up with the pace because we only have 4 days. But they also just make sure like you're still taken care of. The kids are taken care of. Your family's taken care of. So it made a huge difference all around.
Will your kids go to the school in a 4-day week?
Mm-hmm. We live here. And so my children are not zoned for the school that I work at, but since I work here, they get to come here. So I have one in kindergarten and one in pre-K here on my campus with me.
Wow.
That's
So,
great.
so what does the typical non-teacher do with their children on those Mondays?
Yeah,
So
that was gonna be my question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the first question people ask me because they're like, oh, what about working parents? What are we going to do for people with real jobs? And I'm like, I have a real job. But the district offers childcare, and I don't participate in that childcare. I pay for outside childcare for my baby, but I want to say that last year it was anywhere from $10 to $20 for the one day that we're off, and so it's very affordable for I feel like any income because let's see, that's $40 to $80 a month that families are having to pay for childcare versus having to do drop-in care at a daycare, which is normally around $35 to $45 a day in this area, if they even have the availability for drop-in care. A lot of the community, like we have a gymnastics place and like a tumbling place and different little places that offer activities for kids. They started hosting day camps. And so you could sign up and go drop your kid off for the day and do a day camp. And they work like it's an all-day thing. You can do a half day, you can do a full day, you can do morning or afternoon. And so a lot of the community businesses started offering that as well. And then a lot of the high schoolers even have started posting across like all the community, like Facebook pages and groups, like childcare and babysitting services. So I feel like there's a lot of options for families. I know there's some people that still complain that they can't afford it and that we should go back to a 5-day week. But I feel like the majority, since this was voted in by the community, they knew what to expect and they're so far on board with it.
It's a whole community shift, right? Like everybody's got to get on board. I've talked about like I teach civics, right? So we talk about like extended school day, and we talked about like if you went to a 4-day week but you had like a little bit more time to go to school each day, would you be willing to do that? Because then you would have like a Friday off or a Monday off every week or whatever it is. Like we've talked about this, but to put it into practice, some of the obstacles that come up, like we have a very large population. I don't know, like in my district, in our district alone, Jamie and I, there's 14,000 students, so about 1,000 per grade level. So I'm sure some of the districts in Texas are just about the same size.
Yeah, I think most of the districts that I've seen that switch to the 4-day week are the smaller districts.
Okay.
I haven't seen a big district like Dallas or Houston or like places that have tons and tons and tons of students do this. I'm not sure how that would work on a scale, but like where I am, I want to say we have 4 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school.
Okay.
So everyone's funneling up into that 1 high school. So it's not really big. So I'm not sure how that would work on like these bigger areas, but for all the districts that I've seen making this switch, they've all been smaller school districts.
Yeah. It's so interesting to me to see that it was voted on by the community and it wasn't just like this, like, hey, we're going to do this, figure it out. Like, I really like
gave them a lot of lead time to figure it out too. It was like a year of like polling them and getting opinions and thoughts and game plans before it ever like went to the final vote and got voted in.
So what? Sorry, go ahead, Jim.
What do you think is the greatest advantage for the children?
I think it's helping with behavior and attendance, like across the board from what I'm seeing in the classroom. And didn't work in this district before they switched to this model, but to me, I don't have very many behavior issues. The kids are getting a lot more time to be a kid because they're getting that 3-day weekend. They get a time to reset and come back into it. Attendance levels are a lot better because now parents have that day to go schedule all their appointments and get things done instead of having to pull them out of class and have all these days to make things up. And so I've seen that being helpful. A lot of kids are also utilizing that Monday off for missing work and doing homework and things like that. So then they're done for the rest of the week. They don't have to worry about their homework. It's already turned in. They are caught up on their missing work. Parents have time to like sit down with them and actually go over their work and stuff with them on those Mondays. So I feel like it's kind of helping academically, behaviorally, with attendance, kind of across the board for everybody.
I mean, I think about the like making appointments alone.
Yeah.
Maybe like Jamie's just like,
Oh my gosh.
yo, I'm talking to you orthodontists. Okay. Every orthodontist in human history is open until like 3:30 in the afternoon or 4:00.
Yeah.
Have one night, guys, just one night where you shift your hours and you stay open till 7 or maybe 2 nights a week or whatever it is. There's got to be a way. Like why? Like every time it's like, my daughter had to go like get a braces adjustment. It's like, okay, well, we have 12:30. It's like, okay, so everyone just has to be like, and it's every
the
month.
Times are not great.
And it's every month.
Like I utilized my day off yesterday to go to the dentist. And I have, like I said, I have 3 kids. So trying to get them doctor's appointments, I have to have like multiple time slots on there. So I'm like a whole Monday, here we go. Let's knock out all the appointments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the idea.
We have been there. We get it.
Yeah.
I talked to you about that when we first spoke. It's like you are in it, girl. Like
yes.
you are in the weeds, as they say in the restaurant business. Like I get it. And eventually you start seeing the clouds part and the sun come out. And not that it's not amazing, but once it's over, you're like, people are sometimes like, oh, you missed like blah, blah. Like there are certain things you don't miss.
Yes.
And like, no, like we were just talking about on the previous, on an episode recording about like the flu shots and carrying the 2,
I have twins and Joe
too.
has twins as well. And I took my kids for a flu shot recently and we all, we get out of the car, they're 17 and 13 and we walk in and we sit down and they're like banter and ha ha ha. And I was like, holy moly, like how did I do this with like you're toddling around, you 2 are in bucket seats, try to say to them like this is really great. And they're like, Mom, we're here for a shot. What do you mean? And it was like, no, this is really like a moment of like, wow, this is amazing how far we've come. But yeah.
What did you hear is the number one like pushback from parents in the community who don't want a 4-day week? Like, did you get like any kind of like
just from what I see online from all of my lovely people who like to tell me everything, is just what are they supposed to do with their kids? And so I've gotten a lot of pushback because I'm very outspoken on some things sometimes on my social media. And I was just like, school's not childcare. And I understand that families use it for childcare at times. But I mean, at the end of the day, if this was summer, a Monday off, any of these extra days, then you would have to plan for childcare for your kid. And I understand that the school is in charge of your kid for the week. But if something were to come up, you would have to plan for childcare either way. And I even put that on the flip side because I do have to work 1 Monday a month. I have to find childcare for my 2 school-age kids. And so then it's on me as their mom to find the childcare. And so I'm like, I get both sides of it, but it's one of your expectations as a parent. And you're given your school calendar like almost a year in advance. So you got to start plugging in people if you need to, like grandma's watching this day, aunt's this day, daycare this day, go to the YMCA over here. And a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's one of the realities of it. If it got voted in, you kind of just got to go with it and find childcare.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now the one Monday a month that you have to work, is that with other teachers? Are there kids there,
Yes.
not there?
No kids. So the kids still have that Monday off. We report, and normally it's professional development, and then you get a little bit of a work day. Sometimes you're at your campus, sometimes you're at other campuses around the district. But since we start earlier in August, we only have like I want to say we only had 2 days of professional development, because I know some districts, they have like a full week of professional development. So since we only have those 2 days, they kind of spread it up into those Mondays for the rest of the school year.
Okay.
And what do you find your professional development to be purposeful and useful? Oh God, am I going to have to cut this out? I guess I'll have to cut that question out.
I don't know. I feel like it always depends, because I feel like there's always those presentations where they come in, they're like, we're going to show you how to use Lookit. I'm like, I've been using this for 6 years. I can make a Lookit, design a Lookit, code a Lookit, and here we are doing a professional development on it. But I know some teachers have never used it. So some of them I'm like, yes, this is amazing. I love this. And then other times I'm just like, okay, I've used this before. Like, we just sit here.
I mean, the look on your face there was like,
It was perfect.
was like, bro, you serious?
Yeah.
Like,
I do like, however, my district does 2 professional development days. Last year it was just 1, but this year they're going to do 2, and it's all led by teachers within the district. And you get to kind of like pick which presentations you want to go to. And so you can plug in your schedule however you want. I'm actually presenting at the one we have coming soon, which is wild to me because I hate talking in front of other adults. But I, for some reason, decided to sign up and teach one of the professional development spots. So hoping not a lot of people come to it, so I don't have to talk to a room full of people. But if it happens, it happens, I guess. I'm already like sweating thinking about it.
so if you're listening, make sure you sign up for Courtney's session.
Teachers are notoriously the worst.
Seriously, they're the worst. And
Teachers
like, you
are the
talk
worst
to your social
audience.
media all the time. You're up in front of your students, like doing all these things. I'm like, yeah, but then other adults were probably like, this lady's dumb. What is happening? And then I like forget my name and I start sweating and I don't know where I am. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah, we've done it and we've been there and we've it can be very stressful.
Yes.
We like to say the best PD is the teacher down the hall.
Yes.
So, the idea that you can learn from others. And, there is a lot of PD that we get where people come in and they say like, I used to be a teacher, or, when I was a teacher, and I'm so biased. I'm like, that I don't want, and I get it. And people have to leave and move on and all the things, but no.
She makes that noise out loud. She's like, meh.
I don't care for, already you've lost like part of my like attentiveness. If that's like how you're, like, oh, where do you teach? Oh, I don't teach anymore. It's like, no, thank you. But I do love the idea of ongoing PD. I love the idea that you have time, because something that our boss is really good at is if there is ever a situation where she can give us time to just be and be professional and be respected and do what we need to do, that is what she's going to let happen. And, that is not the case for many people that I've worked for. So I always have to say, so just the idea of you being able to be in school without the kids and have some time with your team members and other teachers to be able to regroup and plan, that's phenomenal.
Yes, it makes a huge difference, because even though I don't have to work on Mondays, I still find myself coming up here for like an hour or two, and I'll make all my copies for the week and get everything graded and get my room reset and feel great about it. Because I know our like planning and prep time during the week, it just goes by so fast, especially when you have all the meetings and everything. Yes. And so if I don't get to something one day during conference, I'm like, whatever, I'll pop up here on Monday. It's no big deal. Or there's plenty of Mondays. I'm like, hey, we're going to go to the park, and we went to the state fair, like doing all these different things that I don't have to worry about it. And so it's just nice being able to know if I have that Monday and I want to do something, I can, or I don't. Be lazy.
We have a whole other episode about to happen, because I am sure that the Texas State Fair is delicious. And
I'm thinking, wow, what a great nod to balance. You get an extra day and you're thinking about barbecue.
Like, what fried foods on a stick will there be at the Texas State Fair? Like,
deep fried bacon with cotton candy.
I have seen that on. Of course you have. Of course you have. Because I always order the weirdest thing on the menu, right, Jamie?
That's 100%.
That is always my thing. My husband wants to go see all the new cars, and I'm like, "Where's the food? I need a Fletcher's corn dog, and leave me alone."
A Fletcher's corn dog.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a foot long corn dog. It is so good. Best corn dog.
I mean, book your flight, girl. Let's do it. Yeah, that's awesome. But no, it's just so cool that you get to do those things on like a random Monday. Cause I don't like, we've all taken the mental health day, right? We've all taken the day where you take the Monday off or you take the Friday off. And whether it's like, when I had little kids, sometimes you just needed to like, okay, I'm going to drop them off at daycare. I'm going to come home. I'm going to finish the things I need to do around the house. And I'm going to sit for 2 hours and watch a movie. And then I'll go pick the kids up at daycare. And yeah, you feel guilty about, oh, I didn't spend the time with them. But at the same time, you're also paying for the daycare. So if they don't go,
exactly,
you're not using it.
Yeah.
So, and we paid more in daycare than the first year, because it was twins, of course, that my wife and I paid combined for like our first 2 years of college. Like it's insane. But even like the fact that that people in the community have options, right? They get their calendar early enough in advance where like, then you could go to the gymnastics class, which I'm sure is not this exorbitant amount of money.
No.
I'm
They're
assuming
very cheap, especially because they let a lot of kids into it. And so I want to say it was like $25. I signed my kid up for it a couple of times on the days that I had to go to work, and they were so excited. They loved it. They loved having their Mondays
That's
off.
such a smart part of the community too for those businesses, because
of course.
what else would they have? They wouldn't be.
They're normally not
open
during the day,
right?
And then you get Courtney's then you get Courtney's daughter or son that really likes it, and then they want to go to classes there. Like that that's also a smart thing to do. Or art classes or woodworking or whatever it is. Like I think like any of that stuff would be awesome. But no, that's definitely do you feel or find that this district that you're working in, I don't know if you know the answer to this question, but like, are they getting more people to apply for jobs? Like, are there people, like, I don't want to say beating down the door, but if there are more people that want to work in your district than say in other districts that are a 5-day work week because of the advantages?
For sure. Since they pay similar to a lot of the bigger districts around us. And so that combined with the 4-day week, the second I got a job here, my messages were being blown up of people like, if you know of an opening, let me know. Or if you find anything, let me know. My mom was the same way. We worked in the same district together. The previous district I came from that I did not like, she ended up not liking the district so much. She ended up leaving mid-year. And that's wild to me because my mom has never wanted to quit anything, but she was so drained and beat up from working there. She's like, I can't. And so she stepped away, got a job at a local college, and then a job happened to open up mid-year within the same district. And I was like, Mom, go now, apply. And so she jumped in there and got a job, and she's the same way I am. She's obsessed with it. She likes to craft. So that Monday, she is spending her day crafting. Her and my dad get to go camping all the time. And so every single time there's an opening, immediately my phone is like blowing up, like, put me down as a reference. Please get me in there.
That's great. And it's also awesome that you, there's a lot of teachers that don't do what you did. Like you realized like where your worth was, like, hey, like I really like doing this. I'm assuming you liked doing it. That's why you go into the career, right? But then once you're in there, you're like, oh, I don't know how I can do this for X 20, 30 years and stay in it. And some people decide, well, I'm just going to stay. And then they get jaded and angry and they stay there and then they're stuck. Exactly. But I'm glad that you had the wherewithal to like look and say like, you know what? I think I'm going to like move on here. I'm going to try something else. Oh, that didn't work. I'm going to try something else. And a lot of people don't do that and get stuck and either burn out and get out of the profession completely, or they're in a place where they are just completely unhappy, which is probably even worse.
Yeah.
So
I feel like burnout is so easy as a teacher because when you start looking at your income and like, is this worth it? Is this worth being this stressed every single day? So if I wouldn't have gotten a job here, I honestly don't know that I would still be in education right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the questions and the noises and the kids and the work, that's the part I think that, and we've even talked about the idea of even if you're not a teacher, you might be married to a teacher or a relative of a teacher. And people, I think, have a difficult time understanding just how every second of your day is busy.
Yes,
and
it's
someone
never
is
quiet. It's
never quiet.
Someone needs you. And then you add in being a parent on top of that, especially since my kids work at my school. It's never, I don't have that car ride to go pick them up or whatever it may be. It's like they're in the car with me from the morning. We follow ourselves home. So I feel like a lot of people just struggle with that. It's always I could never do what you do. But then must be nice. You have summers off. I'm like, guys, I don't think y'all understand how hard I worked to get this summer
That's
to have
right.
time where no one is touching me, talking to me, calling my name. It's, I wish that instead of jury duty, it was subbing that people were required to come in.
That's been talked about. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
The tune would change so fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here from Courtney, Joe, and me. 4-day work weeks for all.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Courtney, thank you very much for being willing to join us. And again, this was your first podcast, so we hope you didn't ruin it for you. But no, you were great, and I really appreciate your candor and your honesty in telling us about this, because we've been wanting to have somebody on who works in a 4-day school week district, and we're glad you're able to kind of tell us about it. And maybe it's something that's not. Yeah, I mean, there are other districts around the country. It's not just Texas; it's Colorado. Yes. It's others that are making the switch, and it might be a discussion in larger school districts like ours, on the East Coast eventually.
We can help. Just send the podcast to them. Discreet, send it through to the superintendent. Be like, hey, listen to this, please.
I'll get right on that. So, Jabe, you have anything you want to add?
I do. We are sponsored.
Hey.
So season 3 is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Teachers Insurance Plan. Check out their website for more information and to get a quote. Teachers Insurance Plan, auto insurance that brings exclusive educator savings and exceptional customer care to New Jersey and Pennsylvania educational employees.
And swag. Okay.
And swag. Courtney and Joe, thank you so much, Courtney, for being here. I appreciate you both.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Jamie, appreciate you. Courtney, I appreciate you as well. Okay. We'll see everybody next time on the Balancing Act podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
Look for the Balancing Act podcast every week on your favorite podcast platform. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Thank you for being a part of our audience. We appreciate you.